So what's up, you guys? Jumping straight into this video, I'll be using my Bio Silk Serum, and I have the hjweavebeauty Brazilian straight. I have 326 inches and a 20-inch 6x6 lace closure. This wig is clearly already used, but I'm trying to revamp it up, you guys. So right now what I'm doing is just taking out a row of baby hairs because the baby hair somehow disappeared on me. So I want to, do a little baby hair action on this wig. And yeah, so we're just going to make some new baby hairs. Now I'm going in with my hot comb and I'm just pressing out those baby hairs just so it can really differentiate from the hairline or the rest of the hair from the baby hairs, and that no hair is flying all over the place. And I'm just using my hot comb to just push the hair back to just really separate the baby hairs from the rest of the hair. Now I'm just moving my elastic band just so that I can get the baby hairs fully and be able to sculpt them. Now I'll be using my razor to cut the baby hairs. I like this better than scissors because it gives it more of a jagged look and it thins out the hair versus a nice blunt cut. You don't want that. So we're just going to go ahead and cut those baby hairs about 1 inch. The shorter, the more natural it looks. The longer, the more unnatural it looks. So the shorter, the better. Now I'll be taking my Nairobi setting lotion and I'm just going to apply that all over the hairline and on the baby hairs. And I'm going to form my baby hairs. So I'll be using my rat tail comb to form my baby hairs. To form my baby hairs. And then at a certain point I'll end up using the baby hair comb just because I couldn't get certain parts. It was weird. Yeah. So yeah, as you guys can see, I alternated combs. And this is how it looks, you guys. Now I'll be using my silk wrap and I'll be wrapping around the front of the head and let it dry completely before I take it off. And now it's completely dry. I'm taking it off and it's a nice finished look, and I'm going to go back in with my hot comb just to press out that hair and to give it a nice and sleek look. Now you guys know I love my baby hairs soft. I don't like them crunchy baby hairs. So I'm going to go ahead and comb them out just to make sure I have a nice fluffy baby hair look. Now just to make sure that my baby hairs don't go anywhere, I sprayed my baby hairs with my Suave holding spray just so that it won't move anywhere and that it really stays in place. And I'm just going to go ahead and reform those baby hairs because it kind of, took away its form. So I'm just going to go ahead and redo those baby hairs. Now onto the styling portion of the video. I'm going to go ahead and part my hair into sections, and I'll be using my Garnier Fructis flat ironing mist, and I'll be using my Marcel iron to do my curls today. The Marcel iron overall just gives you better curls than your standard curling iron, and you'll get more of voluminous curls from this than your standard curling iron. It's a lot more difficult to work with because you have to spin around and just do a lot of wrist work with it, but once you get the gist of it, you guys are going to love this iron. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do my curls into sections just so I can have pretty voluminous curls. Now once I get towards the end, I'm just going to roll it up and let it sit on the barrel for a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and just release it into my hand and then hold the curl. Now you want to make sure you do that because that's how your curls last, you guys. And as you guys can see, we have a nice ringlet. And also too, just a heads up, you guys want to make sure that you curl away from your face. You don't want to curl towards your face. If you're going for the Kim K look, you got to do it away, not towards. And the curls are looking pretty, mamita. Yes, you guys. And for some straight hair, this hair held a curl. Like up to this day, I still have the curls inside that wig. And it's beautiful, you guys. It's so beautiful. Now I'm just using that same holding spray and spraying it all over the curls, and we're on to makeup. Now what I did is I already did my eyebrows off camera, but I'm using my P. Louise base and Volume 0.5 mixed with my Juvia's Place J8 concealer, and I'm going to mix that up together for my eyeshadow base, and I'm going to buff that out on my eyeshadow just so I can have an even canvas. Now I'm going into my Dare to Create palette, and I'm using that dark reddish brown color, and that'll be my crease color. Then I'll be using my Morphe 3502 palette in that burnt orange shade, and I'll be using that as my transition color. And you just want to make sure you go back and forth just to blend out those transitions so it's not harsh. Now I'll be going into the P. Louise base and Volume 0.5, and I'll be shaping out my halo with my attempted halo. And I'm just going to apply that all over the lids and buff that out with my buffer brush. Then I'm going into the same Morphe palette, and I'm using that gold color just so it can be my highlight color of my halo. And I want to make sure I go from tip to tip, and then I'll be buffing out the edges with that brown from my Dare to Create palette, and then going into that burnt orange from the Morphe 3502 palette. And you're just going to go back and forth until you get a nice clean blend. Now I'll be using my J. LaRue loose pigment in the color white gold, and I'll put that directly in the middle just to highlight that halo. Then I went ahead and used my Stila liquid liner in the color black, but then I went on top of that with my NYX liquid liner to do my wing because I felt like it wasn't deep enough for me. So I used my NYX matte liquid liner on top of that just to do my wing liner. And I'm not doing a full wing, I'm just doing, baby wing, my per usual. And now I'll be going in with my Neutrogena Hydro Boost moisturizer. I'm going to apply that all over my face. And then I'll be using my Urban Decay D-Slick primer to prime my face, mattify it, get it all nice and ready for the foundation. Now I'll be using my NARS All Day Luminous foundation in the color Dark 3. And I'm going to apply that all over my face, and I'll be using my Real Techniques Instapot brush. I'm just going to buff that into my skin. Now I'm just using this Morphe foundation brush that's a little bit smaller just to get into the creases and crevices. And don't be scared to use different brushes to go in and clean up your work. That's the whole point, you guys. You gotta blend until you can't blend no more. Now I'll be going into my Juvia's Place concealer in the color J8 just to highlight my T-zones. Now I'm just going to use this concealer brush, just a tight line where my eyeshadow is at, just so I can have a nice clean finish. Then I'm going to use this small foundation brush just to buff out the harshness of the concealer. Now this part is very crucial, you guys. You want to make sure that you use your foundation brush just to buff out the edges of your concealer, so that when you blend out your concealer, it looks so clean and flawless and everything just meshes in together, you guys. You don't want no hard line of demarcation between your concealer and your foundation. Everything has to mesh in one. And again, don't be scared to use so many brushes to buff out your concealer. Now I went ahead and did the under eyes last, just so that I have a nice and opaque look underneath my eyes. Now I'll be using my all-nighter spray, and this is something new that I wanted to try. I wanted to set my face first and then apply my Laura Mercier translucent powder in the color medium deep, and I feel like this did my skin so much justice because it really helps stick and set my foundation and everything in. Then I went off camera to line my waterline with this blue eyeliner, and I'll be going into the Zulu palette in this blue shade just to tight line underneath my eyes. and I'll be using this pretty blue glitter from Mermaid Scales USA. Using my dual lash glue underneath my lash line just to give myself a nice glitter line underneath my eyes, and this really just makes everything pop. And I'll be going into that same gold just to do my tear duct using my duo lash glue, and then topping that with my white gold pigment from J. LaRue. And this is what really brings the look, you guys. Now I was like, let me just be extra. So I went ahead and used this gold glitter that I got from Mermaid Scales USA as well. And I used my dual lash glue to help it stick. Now I'll be going into my Saharan 2 blush palette, and I'll be using the color Abby to contour. I'm going to contour all over my face and even on my nose as well. And I'm just going back into with the powder just to, chisel my features. And now I'm just contouring my nose with Abby. Then I went ahead and used my MAC Studio Fix foundation powder in the color NW58, and I'm just going to use that to bring this whole look together. I want to use it to remove my powder and as well as give myself a nice even look. Then using that same Saharan Volume 2 blush palette, I'm going into the blush color Neo, and I'm just applying that on the apples of my cheek. Now I'll be using my MUA's Undress Yourself or Undress Your Skin highlighter in the color Golden Afterglow, and I'm using that to highlight my Cupid's bow and my nose and be all cutesy and stuff. But yeah, I did a little bit of my cheeks, but your girl not into highlight no more, so I had to calm it down and use my foundation brushes to calm it down. Now I'm just using some random brown lip liner, and I wanted more of a deeper lip liner, so I went ahead and just used a little bit of black just so I could have a deeper lip liner. And there's nothing wrong with using black as a lip liner, you guys. This is how you rock it. Then I'll be going into my NYX Butter Gloss in the color Creme Brulee, and I'll top that with my Beauty Supply Store Clear Lip Gloss. You can never go wrong with some clear lip gloss, y'all. Especially from the Beauty Supply Store. It's a dollar, and it gets the job done. Now I'll be going into my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I'm just going to set my face, and then I'm going to use my foundation brush just to press everything in. And we are all done. Well, not done, but we're pretty much done. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my elastic band on first, and I'm just going to flip on the wig. And you guys, she is looking laid and slayed. Come on, y'all. This wig that I made was on a sewing machine. As you guys can see, my sister's on flat. And I'm going to go ahead and use this big wide tooth comb, and I'm going to comb out those pretty curls, you guys. And as you guys can see, I got some beautiful beachy Kim K looking curls, you guys. You're just going to play around with them until it goes into the shape that you want it to. Now I noticed that my part is looking a little cray-cray, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my mascara real quick. Yeah, it's a little ghetto, but it gets the job done. I'm just gonna go fill in my roots just so I have a more defined part, you guys. And this is the finished result of everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me, holiday glam, This was very fun to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos if you have not, and I'll catch you guys in the next segment. Deuces.